Hey guys, what's going on? It's Codiak here, back for another trailer reaction and analysis video, and this one is really special. This is Atomic Hearts. This is a game that's kind of peaked on everybody's radar after E3, after Gamescom, all those big conventions. This is a first-person shooter survival type game. It's got a lot of hype around it. It's got elements of Fallout mixed with BioShock, mixed with robot dystopian societies, mixed with some horror elements. It's a really cool looking game. This is the cinematic trailer for the game. We're going to check it out. Now, you know that horror games, scary games are not my jam at all. So I'm hoping, I have not seen this trailer. I am hoping that it doesn't get too dark, too scary. So hopefully I can sit through it and stomach through it. But we're going to check it out because I am excited about this game. It did really pique my interest. And I'm sure if you clicked on this video, it piqued yours too. So let's dive in. We'll do some frame by frame analysis at the end if need be. But this is Atomic Hearts.
Connection set. Connection established.
Professor said you haven't slept 3 nights in a row.
I don't wanna.
Sleeping pills?
Creepy silhouette man.
Vodka?
Better say, a vodka with sleeping pills. You know how I hate that. My brain is my castle.
I know.
What a line.
When I was a kid, I was always amazed that my brother was scared to sleep in the darkness. Mom used to keep the night light on. It was comic for my brother, while disturbing on me. Like
Gotta be some sort of prison.
my imagination. For the same reason, I didn't like books for kids. They had pictures, colorful ones.
Unrealistic.
Exactly. Books from my dad's library looked much more engaging. History, medicine, theoretical physics. Science doesn't try to make the world look brighter or harmless. It doesn't misrepresent life or truth. It simply states the facts. So I've learned what I should be prepared for. And I've also discovered something. A monster acts naturally in the darkness, and so it's easier to be examined. While in the light, it puts on a mask which makes him unpredictable.
It means dangerous.
Very dangerous. More to that. It is the light that makes us monsters. Do you see what I mean?
More or less.
Can I turn off the light?
Yes.
Lighting change. Night mode.
Oh, okay. I guess that's it. Interesting. All right, so I'm not going to lie to you guys. That actually bored the crap out of me. I mean, like, exposition is fine, but that was just exposition for exposition's sake. What I was really interested in was all the stuff that was going on in the background, right? So it sets up the scene. You see these guys either working over here or shuffling cards or gear on a desk. You see this cool robot contraption over here. You've got guys in the background. This character's interesting. Sure, he's interesting. We've got this shady figure here talking about just talking, really. But it's the characters and the things that go around on in the background that really interest me about this world. And this is the kind of thing about Atomic Hearts that has piqued my interest so much, is that the world that they're designing is very different from anything else that we had experienced in other games. BioShock Infinite was one of my favorite games of all times. If you didn't know that, it was different. It was boldly different. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this game here, even if this cinematic trailer was pretty awful. Clearly, everybody's Russian. It's some sort of Russian society, Russian alternate universe. This was one of the first things that kind of made me peek up and was like, oh, there's like a comical looking robot in the back sprinting, like straight up sprinting on the treadmill back there. And then you've got this guy with the weird mustache just pacing along in the background. Our main character here is clearly getting peeved or just impatient with what's going on. You see all of these vials here. This makes me automatically think this guy is a prisoner. It's some sort of medication or drugs to keep him sedated or keep him in this facility of some sort. Then we get this kind of image of this goofy guy, almost like a terrible Disney animatronic from the, I don't know, 80s and 90s. That's the vibe I got from him, but a little bit more sophisticated, I suppose. So he's clearly talking to this person. It's hard to tell if he's a prisoner, is he's trapped, because at this point he starts to play with some sort of cybernetics, or it's a very interesting concept. I love these flying machines here. Specifically, I love the rotors, which are so different. It's so wildly different than anything we've ever seen in a game before. It's almost like paper rotors, almost like homage back to the Wright brothers and how they used canvas and paper and things of that nature to create flying machines. So that gave it a really cool look. It almost had a very bug-like feel to it, in my opinion. And then he starts to form this like ball, which looks like a brain, and he's got these glowing tendrils coming out of his hand. It's really hard to know what the heck is going on here, especially without any other, gameplay context or anything like that. They're still going through exposition. Then you get this nice wide shot of the facility. You can see there are a lot of working robots. You've got 3 of them on the right side there, 1 walking over. You've got 1 in the middle pulling some sort of cart. You've got our character who looks wildly different than anything else in this scene under this sort of light rig, or it's really hard to tell what sort of rig that is just from this shot here. It's almost as if it's some sort of, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. It almost reminds me of being at the dentist, to be honest with you. He's still thinking and talking. They had a very thick accent, which I did not enjoy at all. And then you get this great shot. You can see clearly it's in Russian here. You've got kind of the Russian wilderness with the forest and the mountains in the background. You see the Russian star on the balloon type creature thing there. It's not really a creature. It's just a floaty thing. You get some more of the rotors in the sky there. Those are almost more like floating facilities, which I think is really cool too. Floating platforms, whatever they may be. And then we're back to this glowy orb thing, which makes no sense. The guy talks about, I'm so bored, I'm yawning. Turning off the lights, and then we get this kind of VR heads-up display for our character. Vision closes, and that's it. So, here's the important thing, at least in my opinion. This cinematic trailer did not grab me in any way, shape, or form. Some of the visuals did, but the story itself completely lost on me. I have no connection to that story. That's a really big misstep, in my opinion. I'm not saying every cinematic trailer needs to have guns and violence and explosions and whatever, but there was just like, it was so deep. It was kind of hard to understand that it wasn't interesting. But I am hoping that the gameplay picks it back up. We did see in that official reveal trailer way back when, I think it was E3, I can't remember. The game does look cool. There's definitely some things with it, but maybe it's just not a story-driven game. At least it's not a refined story-driven game at this point. The game is not out yet. It was slated for a 2019 release, but it is not out yet. I think it's coming to all systems, minus the Switch, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Atomic Hearts, it's an interesting game. Check it out. It's going to be one of those games that kind of sits at the B level, in my opinion. Not rises to like a Fallout level or a Skyrim level, but a B level game that's going to float on by. If the gameplay is truly incredible, I think it'll escalate to an A game, but for now, it's definitely sitting at a hyped little B section if we were to give games a rank. But anyways, guys, that's the video. Give it a like if you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you want more of these videos in your feed. And remember, my name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at the Game Gurus, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.